So with the release of Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis Remake, there's been a question that has been popping in my head ever since I played through both games now. Are they aiming to reboot the series in their own way after the obvious downfall of the series after from Resident Evil 5 and on? Because a recent article I was reading a little while ago shows they talk about how Capcom has a survey out right now where they want us, the gamers, to give an answer to them. They help them give a direction. Do you want to see another remade Resident Evil game, being Resident Evil 4, because it's the next chronological one in the series, or would you prefer a sequel to Resident Evil? Now, personally, my thoughts on all this would be that they're actually trying to see, would you prefer to have a new storytelling, or would you rather us just keep remaking the original series as an order, and then once we run out of that, then we make a new story out of everything? Personally, I would love it if they did a not a remake Resident Evil 4, because we've granted had that a couple of times, and we even have it now on the PS4, Xbox, and all that. I feel like with the remake of Resident Evil 2 and 3, they've actually slowly been trying to lead towards a reboot, sorts of, like, in a way, with the Resident Evil series. Just think about it. They went so far off, like, their level with Resident Evil 5, and oh god, Resident Evil 6 was atrocious. And then Resident Evil 7 was amazing because it was a return to form. And Resident Evil 2 Remake was phenomenal. Loved every second of it. Resident Evil 3, so much fun. The only gripe I've got is probably the same gripe everybody else has: the length of the game. Too short, not that much exciting. But still, amazing story. Great reimagining of the game. It looks beautiful. Now, is the point of all this, not obviously money wise, but is the point of this also to reboot the series and change the way certain events have played out in the franchise? Or is this just simply their way of saying, we're out of ideas, so we'll just take what worked and we'll bring it to the modern gaming console? Personally, I would hope to think that what they're trying to do here is remaster the most loved games and bring them back in, and then introduce this new Resident Evil game that builds off of the timeline between Resident Evil 2 and 3 Nemesis remakes. Whether or not they do Resident Evil 4, even if they make a game that takes place after the events of 4, but still goes with 2 and three's remake, would be phenomenal. If they made one after 4 and changed all Resident Evil 5, 6 never happened, like they never made, like, basically, you don't got to worry about that, even though I know 6 did happen at a different time with all this. But either way, if they were able to make a new sequel to the series without including 5 and 6, just wiping all that out, going from the remakes to 4, and then a fresh story, going back to the survival horror of everything, it would be incredible. Personally, I would do the same thing I've done now: buy the games and just play the hell out of them and get excited for the next one. Like this, I'm excited for whichever decision they make, but it seems to me they're more trying to fix what their mistakes, like what they've done wrong. By Look, personally, I know there are plenty of people that say Resident Evil 5 is great. I have, believe it or not, I have friends that thought it was great. Personally, I couldn't stand it. Story was meh. It was alright. The AI in that game is notoriously, famously known for being atrocious. There's just so much in that game that I just can't stand. I don't like it. But with the remake of 2 and 3, both amazing. The original 4, Resident Evil 4, amazing game. If they were to get rid of 5 and 6, like I keep saying, and they make a fresh story where it's, I don't know, you can have them all meet up, whether it's Leon and Jill, Chris, whoever they want to include in the next game. If they can harken back to this survival horror and not steer off the path of the story, if they can make a well-rounded, interesting story to continue what's been remade so far, if they can make a continuation off of this story, where they can again loop them all into one big game together, that to me sounds like a great ass game. Not not doing it like Resident Evil 6, where it's you have Leon's story, then you have Chris's story, and I don't even remember the last guy honestly, because I just it was years ago and I don't remember. But if they were able to kind of do, it's weird to say because it's kind of similar in the sense of doing, don't do what they did with Resident Evil 6, but do it with Resident Evil 2. How, although, yes, they both had alternate stories to do where you play as Leon or Claire and do like basically story A and story B with either character. Do it like that as opposed to doing what they did with 6, where it was just where it was Chris, Leon, and the other guy, where it's just like all these three different stories, and it's just a poor, the story in general is just poor, awful, and short, and it's not enjoyable in the same way. If they can just keep it in the pocket with these characters and stick to their proper story, I feel like they got a really great reform going. Like they're really going back to what made Capcom what they are in the gaming world. I don't know at this point. I'm just hoping that if they do lead to what I'm thinking, like a new storyline and a whole new setup, I feel like it'd be amazing. It'd be the best thing for them to do at this point. I wouldn't say no. I mean, I'm the one saying let's do that. If you whether or not they remake 4, set up a brand new story. Get 5 and 6 retconned. Who gives a crap? No one's gonna miss it. Make a brand new story and go whatever direction you want. Just keep it in the pocket of survival horror, not action mode, not full on action RPG, whatevers. Don't do that because obviously that has not worked. It's not what we want from Capcom. If somebody somehow in Capcom it was willing to listen to the people more like they're doing, but if they want to take it to a new level, like listen to every little bit you can and realize you guys are doing great with 2 and 3 remakes. Do not take it back to what you did with 5 and 6. Worst games, can't stand them. Don't make that. If you want to make a whole new story, please do. Just make sure you do it right. Don't do it for the sake of the money. I mean, granted, it's what all businesses do, but try make sure that to make this money, you got to tell a good story. Make a cohesive story that continues off these remade games and does justice and makes us want more. Don't piss us off and make us think, I'm out of here with this. Because it's like anything. You piss off your customers, they ain't going to come back. Just, I don't know. What do you, like, let me know what you guys think about this. Go online and look for that survey. I know I forgot. I think it's on their website, actually. I don't know. I read the article. I didn't follow the link, but they do have a survey going. And let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Do you want a Resident Evil 4 remake, or after 2 and 3, do you want a sequel game made for Resident Evil? Where and whether or not, if you choose the sequel game, would you prefer it retcon 5 and 6, maybe even 4 for people who I guess for some reason don't like that game? Or would you rather just have it be a continuation of everything? Or like make it be its own thing, kind of like 7. How 7 had nothing really to do with the others except for the one part in the end when Chris Redfield showed up. Oops, spoiler alert. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.